Right now, in the pitch-black waters of the Middle East, the US Navy is playing the most expensive game of space invaders in human history. Earlier this month, 3 American Arleigh Burke destroyers, the USS Truxtun, USS Mason, and USS Rafael Peralta, were hit by what Central Command called a fierce and sustained waves of Iranian missiles, explosive speedboats, and kamikaze drone swarms. And while the Pentagon claims we knocked the absolute hell out of them, behind closed doors, Navy admirals aren't celebrating. They're panicking. Because the math from Operation Epic Fury doesn't lie. A single, cheap Iranian Shahid drone costs about $20,000. The US Interceptor missile fired from a destroyer's deck to blow it up. Over $4 million. Do the math. That is a 200-to-1 spending trap. And according to leaked intelligence, the US Navy knows that this wasn't the main event. It was just a warm-up. Something much bigger, much uglier is coming. See, an adversary like the IRGC isn't stupid. They know they can't win a 1v1 boxing match against the US carrier strike group. If you punch a supercarrier, America will unalive your entire radar grid before your morning coffee gets cold. So instead of a boxing match, they are throwing a tactical cocktail. Imagine you are a radar operator on a US destroyer. Suddenly, your screen looks like a broken Christmas tree. You have 50 low-flying Shahid 136 kamikaze drones, buzzing toward you at the speed of a Honda Civic, combined with explosive fast-attack speedboats skipping across the waves, and low-altitude cruise missiles skimming just feet above the ocean water. This isn't a random attack. It's a math problem designed to make the ship's computer crash. It's called defensive saturation. They send so much cheap junk down the pipe that your automated defense systems literally run out of ammo. And when a destroyer's vertical launch system runs completely dry out in the open ocean, you aren't a warship anymore. You're just a $6 billion floating target. But here is what the Pentagon is really losing sleep over. And no, it's not just about the Middle East. Recently leaked intelligence revealed that the US recently tracked an incredibly disturbing development. Foreign adversaries have been experimenting with launching advanced, autonomous drone swarms from ordinary, completely unmarked commercial cargo ships. Think about how terrifying that is. A rusty, generic container ship looks totally harmless on global tracking maps. It can cruise right up past the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean, sit just a few miles off the coast of the United States, and suddenly pop open its cargo bays to unleash hundreds of edge AI-controlled suicide drones directly toward the American homeland. No aircraft carrier required. Just a cheap boat, some steel shipping crates, and a bunch of plastic flying lawnmowers with military-grade explosives strapped to the front. Worse yet, these 2026-era drone swarms are now being upgraded with human-on-the-loop edge AI. That's a fancy military term, meaning even if the US Navy uses heavy electronic jamming to cut off the drone's signal, the drones don't care. Their onboard computer brains take over, talk to each other, coordinate the attack, and finish the mission completely autonomously. So, how does the most powerful Navy on Earth stop a threat that costs less than a used truck? Well, you stop playing the old-school missile game, and you unlock the science fiction vault. First up, the Navy is aggressively bolting the HELIOS laser system onto the front decks of its destroyers. Laser weapons are a total cheat code because they don't use ammunition. As long as the warship's nuclear or gas turbine engines are running, the laser has infinite ammo. The cost per shot? About $1. Take that, inflation. Second, the Pentagon is building its own Hellscape counter-strategy. The military just launched Project Swarm Forge, an AI-driven defense network that deploys waves of micro-interceptor drones, like the newly contracted Bumblebee AI quadcopters, to physically hunt down and ram enemy drone fleets midair before they ever touch a ship. The era of giant, untouchable naval empires is officially over. The future of naval survival is going to be won or lost in a software update. And if you think the Navy is just waiting around for lasers to finish charging like a low-battery iPhone, think again. The Pentagon is currently panic buying anything that can shoot fast and cheap. Just weeks ago, eagle-eyed ship watchers spotted a bizarre, brand new piece of hardware bolted onto the deck of the destroyer, USS Carl M. Levin out in Pearl Harbor. It turns out, the Navy secretly fast-tracked and upgraded, navalized Coyote missile launcher. Now, the Coyote isn't one of those massive, million-dollar missiles that requires a 3-day permit from Congress to fire. It's basically a small, tube-launched drone interceptor. And the Navy just modified the launcher to pack 8 cells on the deck instead of 4. Why? Because it's the ultimate Uno reverse card. Instead of wasting a massive, premium VLS missile slot, the ship can just spam a pack of highly explosive, low-cost interceptor missiles to headbutt incoming drones out of the sky at a fraction of the price. They are quite literally fighting drone swarms with missile swarms. But here is the plot twist that proves the US Navy isn't just playing defense anymore. They are getting ready to build their own nightmare grid. While Admiral Aquilino and Pacific Command are watching rising tensions across the Taiwan Strait, the Pentagon officially unlocked their ultimate deterrent strategy. They call it, and this is their actual, official military name, the Hellscape. The US Navy plans to deploy tens of thousands of their own unmanned surface vessels, USVs, and autonomous strike drones directly into the ocean choke points. The strategy is simple. If an enemy fleet tries to launch a surprise amphibious invasion, they won't meet a row of classic American battleships. Instead, they will sail directly into a literal meat grinder of thousands of small, cheap, interconnected AI kamikaze boats and flying loitering munitions. Basically, America looked at the cheap drone spam threatening their carriers and said, "You know what? Two can play at this game." The era of giant, untouchable naval empires is officially over. The future of naval survival isn't about who has the biggest boat, it's about who wins the software update. We are tracking this high-tech chess match every single week as the tension builds. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and get elite tactical briefings before the rest of the internet, hit that subscribe button right now and join the Sky Sea Defense Fleet.